Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here at the river. Oh, it is a beautiful day, despite the fact that it's snowing once more. What are you going to do? You roll with it. You go with it. You see how the world will turn. It'd be pretty wonderful to see what the world provides on a day-to-day basis. A quick visual descriptor. I have long brown hair, glasses, a black coat and hood, a blue coffee mug in hand. Right behind me, the river, the trees, and you can see the snow. We had spring-like qualities last week, but now it's snowing again. To go from temperatures in the 70s to the very next week having temperatures in the 20s and 30s and snow, oh, one can never predict what's coming in this wonderful frozen north. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot, oftentimes it's a long winter. But that's how it goes. I hope you have your coffee, your tea, whatever it may be, whatever gets your day going in so many wonderful ways. I mean, we need all these wonderful ways to improve our day, to give ourselves comfort, to find some peace within our life. And the best way to find some peace in your life is to offer it to yourself. Offer yourself the chance for peace. When things aren't going well, give a hand out to yourself. Pick yourself up. It's easier said than done, but same is true for so many things in life. But you have the ability to give yourself so much comfort and so much peace. So I hope that you do. This coffee is wonderful today. This river is wonderful today. This snow is wonderful today. And it'll be wonderful tomorrow if it's here. I'm coming to you all right now through Restream, an absolutely wonderful software. If you consider going into live streaming and you're already live streaming, but you're not using Restream, do give it consideration. I'm, of course, multicasting right now to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's absolutely wonderful. It allows me to talk to so many different people all at the same time. We get to enjoy all this time together. All of us. Pretty amazing. And our hearts go out to the people of Restream. Their main office is in Ukraine. Hopefully they are all doing well, all safe. And morning over there on LinkedIn. Yep, snowing again. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's snow. It's snowing. For so many people in the world right now, they're in spring or, something similar. Warmer weather. But up here, no. But it's quite wonderful. I like snow. I enjoy how it goes, how it's cold, all the joys that come with it. Oh, now let's talk about writing. If you're new here, maybe you don't know this yet, or if you've been here for a while, maybe you still don't know this yet. I am a award-winning filmmaker, an author, and an artist. I have 12 different publications, and I have a few films, two of which have actually been through film festivals. Oh, it's so much, it's so wonderful. But when it comes to writing, you can't rest on your laurels, as it were. You have to be striving to improve in all sorts of ways. The problem is it can become difficult to advance. Maybe you get into a cycle, a mode, a preset way of doing things. You've done something for so long that you can't get out of your own way and allow the art to happen. And writing is most certainly an art. Yes, it's a career. Yes, it's a passion, but it's also at its core an art. Writing, words, the ability to string them together to produce beautiful stories or wonderful poetry, to move someone to smiles or sadness, to bring a laugh, to bring a tear, to make people sometimes uncomfortable. And that is sometimes an action that we must take as writers, as authors. But there's so many different kinds of writers. I write mostly fiction, fantasy, some sci-fi, and then poetry. But I also, put together films, and I make these wonderful live streams where I usually have to do some thinking and some planning ahead. I say some thinking and planning ahead, but let's be fair. If you do any live content, especially regular scheduled content, you have to plan. So I'm going to be giving some thoughts, some advice, um, imparting some wisdoms that I've gathered to you from various streams of different kind of writing. And the first one actually is going to come from Kurt Vonnegut. I probably mispronounced that name, and I apologize if I did. But sometimes you only see things in writing, so you don't know how to say it. And that's fine. Kurt Vonnegut had some ideas about what made good writing. And there was one that stuck out to me, and it was every character should want something, even if it's just a glass of water. And it seems like this should be almost intuitive, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes we write a person or a outline or something, and maybe we don't insert a want into there. Maybe something's just filler. It's just there, and you could replace a character or a person in the story with a lamp, and the story doesn't change. But what if you write speeches? What if you write something like this, a live stream, the script for it? What if you're preparing any number of things, an article in a newspaper, a poll? How can this apply to you? Well, actually rather simple. You see, since every character wants something, if you're writing something like a speech or a live stream script or an article or a poem, well, in some way you have to understand that you are the character. You become the character, but the audience, the people who are on the other side, they're another character. If you have some narrative or some monologue or soliloquy or whatever it may be, and there's no person there directly, the characters are you, and then the people on the other side who are taking it in, absorbing that information. In that regard, you might have to ask yourself, what do I want? And what do I want my audience to want? You're going to be imparting that quality. You're going to have to kind of push your audience to want something, to want an explanation, to want to understand, to want to learn, to want to go out and visit your website. Or maybe just to ask, why did this happen? What's going on? Now, you are the primary character, though, in the situation where you're writing a speech or an article or whatever it may be. And in that case, you're the character. So what do you want? What do you want to say? What do you want to get across? What do you want to share? What's your desire? What's your goal? What's your mission? Say you're writing copy for a post. You just created some new product, or maybe you're promoting a product. Maybe you just made a new painting or a book. or a fashion line, and you want to promote that to people. Okay, that's part of what you're doing, but what else do you want? I know that's a big question. Asking ourselves what we want is sometimes even difficult in life. But in the context of writing, it's very important, and it has an implicit effect on what we're creating and what we're doing. So, before you start writing, or maybe even after you've written, when you go back to look at it, ask if there is a want, a motivation behind your writing. What are you bringing? What are you asking? In a business sense, this is usually called a call to action, but we're going to have to step back from the call to action because of course, the call to action is directed to giving those who are reading or listening that want. Why do you want this call to action? And I know I've just asked a number of different questions and proposed a number of different thoughts, but they are important and they're worth considering. You don't need to have all the answers. And I'll say that again, you don't need to have all the answers. Gotta say it twice. At no point in our life will we ever have all the answers. So, if thinking about what your character wants, what you want, what your audience wants, what the story wants, you start to feel nervous or an anxiety, step back. Think less. Act more. You're doing amazing, and you'll get it. Now, the next thing that is really important that I want to put out there as improving your writing and improving the way we write is read everything you do aloud. When we're writing and when we're editing and when we're just getting in there and seeing how everything works, there's a chance that we're going to miss something. You can even hand it off to someone else to edit, and they'll probably miss something. But if you're reading aloud, whatever you've written, read it aloud to yourself. Read it aloud to others. Something's going to happen. It's going to click. You're going to see things that you've missed. Maybe a word that you thought was there that's not. It's just implied by your writing, and you just keep adding it in with your mind. Then you read it aloud, word for word, and you see it's missing. Maybe you realize afterwards a sentence is very, very long, or maybe not as clear as you thought, or maybe so clear that it needs to be broken down a little bit further. I had to take a moment to say, morning, everyone on Twitch. Morning, everyone on LinkedIn. I'm so glad you're here. And anyone who might be on YouTube or Twitter, thank you. Thank you for being here. So these are some big things that you can go ahead and you can put into your writing that's going to make it so much better. Just to quickly recap, really look into it and ask, what does my character want? And if you're writing something that's perhaps not traditional fiction or a story per se, remember that you are the character and your audience on the other side is a character. So what do they want? What do you want? And what do they want? Knowing this is just going to make everything better. Don't overthink it. Just get some sort of understanding of that. What do my characters want? And then after that, make sure that once you're done, or whether you finish a page or whether you finish a whole novel or whether you finish an article, read it out loud. Read it out loud to find all the things that maybe you missed beforehand. You could miss all sorts of things. A word that doesn't quite fit, a sentence that isn't quite structured right. Or maybe you'll just notice that you had to add some words or maybe take some away. However that comes about, read it out loud. You're going to find a whole lot more than just editing by eye or giving it over to another editor. And even that other editor should be reading it out loud. It's going to help everyone. I will say one more thing before we move on, and that's if you can find someone to almost be a dedicated sounding wall, sounding board of sorts, someone to listen to your ideas and also to give you ideas, this can be tremendously helpful, so do consider it. Oftentimes we need to bounce ideas back and forth, and sometimes we just need a fresh set of ears, a fresh set of eyes, a fresh perspective. So do consider that. So if you can find someone that you think would be awesome just to propose your ideas to for whatever you're going to be writing, put it out there and then see what they think. This is just going to help overall. It's always good to have someone to communicate with, to consult with. Now, don't forget, you all deserve an extra cup of coffee, tea, whatever it may be. You've been doing awesome work. I see all of you out there doing awesome work, doing so many things. So get an extra cuppa. You deserve one. Coffee, tea, whatever it may be. If it keeps snowing like this for a while, I think I'm going to need a whole bunch of extra cuppas. Get that coffee in me. I'd just like to talk to you all for a moment about Kindle Vella. Now, I have a couple of stories available right now on Kindle Vella. One of them that there's going to be a link for somewhere nearby, depending on where you're joining me, is 30 Days in the Apocalypse with Dr. Sciencio Magnifico. It is a sci-fi comedy, post-apocalyptic kind of wonderland of fun. It has action. It has internet celebrities. It has an apocalyptic world, which is kind of a mishmash of every apocalyptic trope you can get. And at the center of it are our main characters that you meet in the very beginning, Bam and Kitty Ram. Bam is actually a social media manager, and Kitty Ram is an internet celebrity. In this apocalyptic world, people still live stream. They still have social media. They still get on online and put up pictures and everything. But some of our internet celebrities in 30 Days in the Apocalypse specifically are streaming and sharing stuff of them fighting monsters and zombies and just looking absolutely awesome. There's a whole lot of commentary baked into the story, thoughts and concepts about fame and what it might mean. It's a whole lot of fun. Do consider going over to Kindle Vella and getting into the story. It's so much fun. Now, Kindle Vella is relatively new. It's only been around a little less than a year, and there's already so many authors out there. And one of the things they do is they have stories released in episodes. So if you start a story, you're going to get an episode. And those episodes are between 600 and I think 5,000 words long. So essentially short chapters or full chapters of a book. And you have the ability to read the first 3 episodes of any story on Kindle Vella and just check it out. And then after those first 3 episodes, you have to unlock additional episodes with an in-app token. But it gives you the opportunity to see if you like something. And that I really enjoy. You can check out a story. And you don't have to do anything other than read it. You can just see if you like it. But there's so many authors on Kindle Vella, so do consider getting on. There's more and more stories coming out from so many people all the time now. But if you pick up and start reading 30 Days in the Apocalypse with Dr. Sciencio Magnifico, please leave thumbs up because you can like the stories, but you can also leave a review at any time. So please do consider leaving a review if you start reading the story. Thumbs up, and you can follow so that you can stay up to date with everything new coming out. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Be excellent, be well, stay safe, and hopefully your day's a little brighter than mine here in the land of snow. All right, I'm going to get out of here, though. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and I'll see you all again real soon. Bye, everybody.